Some more reaction now to this. I'm joined by the spokesperson of the African Transformation Movement Party, that's Zama Ntshona. Good afternoon, Zama. What is your reaction to this news from the Reserve Bank? Oh, we seem to have lost, just disconnected there. We'll try and get Zama Ntshona back in a short while to get their reaction as the African Transformation Movement to the news that the South African Reserve Bank has exonerated President Ramaphosa from any wrongdoing in terms of his investigation about the monies that were allegedly found, foreign exchange monies found in his Phala Phala farm in Limpopo in 2020. I understand Zama has rejoined us. Zama, are you there? Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Braden, and the viewers.
Yeah, so what's the reaction of the African Transformation Movement?
Thank you so much. For us as the African Transformation Movement, this is a very bizarre finding, very funny finding. One, you have an individual who goes on national television and he says, the money from my farm was mine, which means that the transaction was completed between him and the individual that was buying from him. Second to that, you have you have SARS, the South African Revenue Services, that says the transaction, the member of the closed corporation, which was Mr. Ramaphosa, and the entity itself were tax compliant. Now, when you are going to say that the transaction was not perfected, what do you mean? Because you already have an individual who claims that the transaction was completed. You have an entity that already claims that there is compliance. Now, it does not make sense for us as the African Transformation Movement that this finding would be the case. The South African Reserve Bank truly must explain to us what happened. We regard them as some of the sharpest minds we've got in the country. We regard them as some of the institutions that are able to do the work. What is it this time around that truly disturbed them, that they are able to truly, clearly, you would think that this was a clear cut and dry story. And for some reason, it seems as if that is not the case. They must tell us why.
So you as a transformation movement don't accept the Reserve Bank's findings?
No, there is no way. How do you truly look at the issue of how else can you explain the issue of foreign currency that is in my possession? Okay, let's just say we go with the argument that say the transaction was not perfected. So does it mean to me as a normal citizen, an ordinary citizen in this country, that I can keep large sums of money that are a foreign currency because I was not embarking on a process of selling and buying, and therefore that is okay?
Well, according to what I've seen, yeah, the bank says that there was no contravention of the exchange control regulations due to a tiny technicality, because that money was exchanged.
We all know that the date of the transaction, we all know that by the time the money was stolen, it had gone beyond the actual prescripts that we know about. So why wouldn't there be any violation? Does not make sense. So for us as the African Transformation Movement, we truly do not see how the Reserve Bank has actually gone. The only thing that they've managed to do, they have once again proven that the president is protected.
So are you, now you've said that you don't accept it, and you've got questions about how they came to this decision. What are you going to do?
The African Transformation Movement, we have to find, I understand what they are saying about they can't release the
Apologies for that. That connection with Zama Ntshona, speaking on behalf of the African Transformation Movement, not one of the best ones, but we got the gist of what the ATM stands, where it stands about this finding by the Reserve Bank regarding the president and the Phala Phala farm scandal. They don't accept it. They've got lots of questions, and they're going to be, I'm sure, reviewing this whole decision. He was saying that they accept that the Reserve Bank cannot release the internal report, but I'm sure we're going to hear more from the likes of the ATM and other parties. Like the UDM already rejecting the findings, there's still much more to happen in this case.